In Peaky Blinders, you have Thomas Shelby, the main character, and one of the central themes with this guy is that women want to be with him. And this is quite simple. He is a gangster, he is the leader of the Peaky Blinders, he is dangerous. You might die if you spend time around him. But you want to because he dresses well, he looks well, he speaks in a very smart, articulate way. He is the cool guy. He is James Bond-esque. Now, something else that I noticed, especially in the earlier seasons, to do with this, is they would include these really long, drawn-out sex scenes with him and the other women. And I don't know about you, but I find it really weird when they have it's virtually softcore porn, and it's 5, 6, 7 minutes, highly detailed. And I think to myself, just if you want to see that, go onto Pornhub. Why do they put these long drawn out scenes in TV shows and films and even video games now? It's really weird. It's like they're trying to forcibly insert smut onto people's television screens. Anyway, random aside. Now, of course, in the latest season, you have the introduction of Oswald Mosley. And this guy, like Shelby, is very powerful. He's famous, he is idolised, he has thousands of people coming to hear him speak at these events. He's a member of parliament. He also, like Shelby, dresses in a slick manner. He's intelligent, he looks well, takes care of himself. All very positive aspects. But for some reason, the way he is portrayed in this TV show, his interactions with women are very different. The first major interaction you see him having with a woman is when he meets back up with Lizzie, who earlier, a few years back in Birmingham, he had used as a prostitute, but she is now Thomas Shelby's wife, and so essentially it's quite embarrassing. I shagged your wife back a few years ago, and that's kind of whatever. But then the next interaction you see him have is when he picks out the swan of the Swan Lake performance, takes her upstairs and essentially gives her a jolly good seeing to, takes her from behind, doggy style. They even have him looking in the mirror as he's doing it, really aggressive, and she is not enjoying it. You even have her face during the speech before the actual nighttime, where she is scared of this man. He's a fascist, the way he is speaking about a certain set of people, all of this sort of stuff. And so yeah, the point basically is she will do this as long as she's being paid, but she is not going to actually enjoy what's happening at all. The final encounter you see him have with a woman is when, for some reason, he chooses to solicit a hooker before his big speech, the sort of the finale of the entire season. And again, in this situation, he is taking her from behind, really hyper aggressive. He is staring at himself in the mirror, implying he is vain, narcissistic, he loves himself. And the woman here, she's not enjoying it. She's only doing it because she's being paid. And again, like I say, that's the sort of the overall theme you're having here. No women want to be with him because they just like him. It's like they have to be paid. They have to be ladies of the night. And that's really interesting because, of course, with Thomas Shelby, the sex scenes he has, it's all loving and emotional. There's this bonding going on and it's drawn out. It's not a few quick moments of manic rutting and then the job is done. Now, what's so bizarre about the way they are portraying the differences in the way these men interact with women is that they are claiming that a guy like Thomas Shelby, who is a psychopathic, murderous gangster, he is mentally deranged, he is speaking to his dead wife in this series, he is more acceptable than Oswald Mosley simply because the latter is a fascist. That's it. And by the way, the way they actually talk about fascism and the way they portray fascism in this show, the worst I have seen in the entire 6 episodes is the fact that this guy speaks negatively about a certain set of people. I can't name them, I'll never name them, but that's it. That's the worst you see. You never see Mosley beating up random innocent people. And by the way, you have Arthur Shelby in the same series slashing up some innocent man's face, deforming him, completely scarring him for life. And Thomas Shelby accepts that. That's okay, whatever. But the fact Mosley has negative opinions of certain people and he cares about the English and wants what is best for them, that makes him like uniquely evil. He is uniquely evil, apparently, in the eyes of women. Of course, you have examples going back many years, the likes of Charles Manson, Ted Bundy, Jeffrey Dahmer, these murdering rapists, and there are still women who want to be with them. So again, the implication is women are more attracted to murdering rapist serial killers than a fascist. They can tolerate Ted Bundy, Charles Manson, but they can't get it on with Oswald Mosley unless they're being paid. It's absolutely insane. Something else I noticed linked to this is that when they're showing Mosley in these sporadic encounters with women, the fact he seems to be using them, it's almost as if they're trying to shame him for that behaviour. It's like, you're disrespecting women, you're simply using them for their bodies, blah blah blah. And of course, these are the same people, the BBC, the mainstream media, the Globo Homo agenda, that's constantly pushing Tinder, hookup culture, sleeping around as being virtuous. So it's really good when we push it in every single other TV show. That's great. But when Mosley, this evil fascist, when he engages in that behaviour, it's shameful. It's bad. And you might say to me, well, actually, Carl, I think you'll find they're trying to give you an accurate perspective, an historical perspective of 1930s England. Well, no, they're not. They're not, because we've already seen in the previous seasons them pushing the feminist agenda. All the ladies are united and they're taking back control, having equality. And in this season, they heavily are pushing the race mixing agenda. You have one of the main female characters having sex, having a baby with a black man. You also have a black man shown in Swan Lake. One of the lead characters in Swan Lake is a black man. It's insane. So yes, they're happy to push that agenda in other areas of the show. But of course, with Mosley, they are happy to hold up this higher sense of morality. However, once again with the comparisons, all the other male characters, all of the Peaky Blinders, they use hookers. They treat women like dirt. The main character, Thomas Shelby, is a womanizer for the entire show. He's constantly treating women like crap. And so when he does it, that's okay. When Mosley does exactly the same stuff, he's evil. It makes no sense. So in conclusion here, I can only surmise that the BBC must believe their average viewer is literally a cabbage, an 85, 90 IQ person that is simply unable to decipher the massive contradictions they are seeing on their screen. And the BBC themselves are happy to contradict the entire narrative they have built up over the last 5 years, do a complete 180 on that, simply to push their hatred onto Oswald Mosley. To say, we hate him so much, we're going to completely rip up the rulebook of what we have been pushing, the agenda we've been pushing, because we hate him so much. That's how crazy these people are. So, anyway, please let me know your thoughts on this, and also, if you haven't already, can you please cancel your TV license? That has to be done ASAP. Like, dislike, subscribe, unsubscribe, please comment. Ilu Sassoon, peace out.